What should we do if we ever fly into icing conditions? I'll tell you in this video.
Your airspeed alive, your indicators are showing green. I'm in maintain 8,000. 65 rotate. She's flying.
Day 9, M0A Nation, of the 31-Day Safer Pilot Challenge. Hey, who is 9 for 9? Will you leave me some comments down below? I want to know who is 9 for 9 on the 31-Day Safer Pilot Challenge. Today we're talking about the enemy of icing conditions. And you see, when it comes to icing conditions, there's so many dangers. There is no faster way to add weight to your aircraft, to spoil aerodynamic flow, to add all that drag. All these things happen when we're dealing with icing conditions. And to better understand how to get out of icing, we need to first better understand our enemy. And we need to know there's actually three main types of icing that we deal with. They are clear, rime, and mixed ice. By the way, who's ever picked up ice before? Would you be willing to share in the comment section below? Despite being from Florida, I've picked up structural icing twice, and I've had carb ice twice as well, if I think about it. So yeah, even being based out of Florida, we can run into icing conditions. Now, let's better understand this enemy of ice so we can better understand how to get out of it. We have an amazing animation team here that animates everything for the online ground school, and that's what we're showing here now. This is clear ice. Clear ice forms after initial impact. The remaining liquid portion of that drops actually flow over the surface of the aircraft, and it kind of gradually freezes as a smooth sheet of solid ice. This type of ice forms typically when the droplets are large. You'll hear the term supercooled water droplets even sometimes. So it's sometimes, clear ice is sometimes called run back ice because it hits too big of a droplet to freeze. It hits, and as it thins out, it's then thinner and freezes easier and makes a sheet of ice. That's clear ice. Next we have rime ice. And rime ice, you'll see, rime ice forms when the droplets are small, such as those in stratified clouds or in light drizzle. That liquid portion remains after the initial impact freezes rapidly before the drop even has time to spread over the aircraft surface. So these small frozen droplets also trap air inside, giving it that kind of opaque type look to it. Rime ice. Now, let's just compare those two for a second. Clear ice, if there were a benefit of any icing, clear ice at least maintains the shape of your wing a little bit. So it doesn't spoil the aerodynamic properties as quickly as something like rime ice. Rime ice is just almost, you get like stalactites and stalagmites kind of come to mind when I think of rime ice with that. So, but clear ice is very, very heavy. It's this sheet of ice. Rime ice is light, but it really spoils the aerodynamic flow. Now, both are spoiling the aerodynamic flow, both are adding weight. Clear and rime, just some do one more than the other. But then there's this thing called mixed icing. And mixed ice, as you'll see, that forms when the droplets really just vary in size, or when the liquid drops are kind of intermingled with something like snow or ice. You get mixed ice. You get the weight of something like clear ice with the aerodynamic spoiling properties of rime ice, and you get the worst of the worst conditions. But wait, there's more. There's something actually called ice horns as well. And ice horns, my goodness, look at this. It literally forms horns on the end based on how it freezes because the aerodynamic flows over the wings, and you can form something called ice horns on the leading edge. Talk about really spoiling Mr. Bernoulli in his principle a little bit, huh? That makes it really, really scary. So now that we understand ice, we need to understand a little bit about how it forms. Well, first off, we need some bit of visible moisture. Just because you're flying and you're below the freezing level, but it's like a clear and 10, there's not a cloud in the sky kind of day, you're not going to pick up ice. You're going to pick up ice flying near freezing conditions. Doesn't have to be 32 Fahrenheit or 0 Celsius. It can be much warmer than that, especially for something like induction icing, carburetor icing as well. It can be as warm as in the 70 degrees Fahrenheit and still get carburetor icing as well. That's why I say I've been in Florida and gotten carb ice before in the kind of spring time as well. So you need to be mindful of that. The freezing level may be at the surface, but it's a gorgeous day. You're not going to pick up ice just because you're at the freezing level. You need visible moisture. And to that point, just because the temperature's above the freezing level, you can't just make the blanket statement, oh, it's above freezing, I'm not going to pick up ice. Listen, in the 2 times I picked up structural icing, it was much warmer than freezing. There was no AirMet Zulus for icing. Obviously, it's illegal in my little aircraft to fly into what we call known icing conditions. I wouldn't have been there in the first place. The fact that I went through there and told everybody else about it made those icing conditions known. That's one of the ways we get known icing conditions. How do we escape ice if we find ourselves in it? Well, the answer is always warmer air. But you as a pilot need to know where that warmer air is. Usually that's below you, but in some rare cases, warmer air can be above you as well. The main thing, if you can't find warmer air, is to stop the accumulation. In one of our instances, I was flying in the Tecnam, actually. We were in Ohio when I picked up structural icing, and we weren't able to get to warmer air, but we were able to stop the accumulation. Now, we still had some ice on our wing, but we stopped picking up more ice. What you'll realize with ice is once you build that base layer, the accumulation just seems to become exponential. So obviously we don't even want that base layer to form, but if it does form, we need to find warmer air or stop the accumulation. In our case, we knew the top of the clouds was just right there, so we were able to actually get up on top and stop the accumulation. And on our way back down, we found our warmer air and all that ice melted. Where's the warmer air? Or where can I stop the accumulation of ice as well? I want to hear some of your icing stories, though. I'm sure perhaps there's some out there that have some. I'd love you to leave those in the comment section below this video on YouTube, on Facebook. Hope you're loving this 31-day Safer Pilot Challenge. Have a blessed, outstanding, amazing, excellent 2022 and rest of your day. And most importantly, remember that a good pilot is always learning. Have a great day, everybody. I'll see you. So you're loving the 31-day Safer Pilot Challenge. Hey, will you do us a huge favor? Will you just throw this video a thumbs up on YouTube, on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, like and follow MZRA on Facebook, and really wherever you're watching this. This not only helps us, it helps future aviators find us as well. And if you are finding value in MZRA.com, I know you can throw it a share as well, and just maybe share this message with somebody who truly needs to hear this. 2022 is going to be our safest year in aviation yet, and starts with us.